Hey friends, welcome back to the Unfinished Projects Club. Today is going to be a WIP Chat, which means I'm working on something familiar, talking about whatever comes up, and not pretending that I only have one project going at a time. So I am back on my Tinkerbell painting, which is one of my WIP Go goals for this month. So if you want something calm to have on while you work or just want to hang out, you are in the right place. Hey everyone. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Jen. Welcome to the Unfinished Projects Club. This channel is all about unfinished projects, rotating hobbies, and doing what we can when we can. There is no pressure here to be productive, so grab your project, grab your drink, or just listen along. So today I'm spending some time with my Tinkerbell diamond painting. This is artwork by Mandy Manzano. This is a cross-stitch conversion, so I'm using cross-stitch pattern from Creatively Crafting. You can't see it off screen, but my pattern is on Pattern Keeper. All of my supplies, my drills, and my canvas are from Jaded Gem Shop. Tray is from Cat Proof diamond painting trays. My pen is from O'Brien Custom Turning, and I'm using a 4-placer from Diamond Art Club. And I'm also trying out a new to me putty from Black Dahlia Diamond Art. I got their January scent of the month here, Old Fashioned Eggnog. I love the scent. I'm not a big fan of eggnog, but I love the scent. So I'm still trying it out. It has been good to me thus far. It really doesn't seem to be sticking to the canvas. I'm a heavy placer, so I do tend to have that problem. So yay, that's promising. So yeah, how are you? I'm seriously considering, oh, you know what? Here, let me try this. I kind of squished around my glue dot last night, but I never, got it linty with the clothing. And that's really linty because I'm wearing a really linty sweater right now. Sorry. Anyway, that's a little bit better. Still sticky, but we can work with that. Anyway, this is not in the right spot. You need to go up here. Yes, you do. And you can go up one. Oh no, stay. So anyways, how's everyone doing? Hopefully well. Hopefully the week has been good to you. Yeah, we're still overly sticky. 1 second. So yeah, hopefully the week has been good to you. Hopefully you're staying warm. I'm trying. For the most part, I'm failing, but that is normal for me. I'm sorry if I hit the camera and you're shaking. I didn't realize it until now. But anyways, yeah, it's been chilly here, a little chillier than normal. I think yesterday was the first day we were above freezing in I don't know how long. So that was nice. Snow finally melted a little bit. Because all that snow we got, what, a week and a half ago, is still sitting here because it's not melting. My son was off of school all week last week because of that. And thus far this week, he's had two 2-hour delay days. So we're 2 for 2. We have an issue here in that, I mean, we're in Virginia for one thing. So obviously Virginia doesn't know how to deal with snow all that well. But also we have mountains here. So the thing with the mountains is that not all of the roads and driveways up there are paved. There's no sidewalks. It stays colder up there for longer. The sun doesn't always warm up the streets and whatnot up there because it's wooded. So the snow takes a lot longer to melt up there, and we don't need buses getting into accidents going up into the mountains trying to get the kids. So we do tend to close at the drop of a hat in his school district. So I expected all of last week to be off, but the two-hour delay days in a row kind of surprised me. I expected yesterday's. I wasn't sure what to think about today's because it did start to melt a wee bit yesterday. It got up to like 34. So above freezing. We'll take it. All of you that are even more north, I know my family in Western New York has been dealing with lots of snow. So feel for you, but at the same time, you know, I moved south for a reason. That's what I always tell my mother too when she's complaining about all the snow. I'm like, you know, you could move to Virginia, just saying. But no, we wouldn't want to do that. I have to pick on my mama when I can. I gave her a book for Christmas. It said how not to be a grumpy old lady. She was like, okay, who gave me this book? I don't know, huh, Ma? That must have been my brother. So yeah, it's okay. I miscounted 6. Yeah, this one is not needed. So like I said, the supplies here are from Jaded Gem Shop. I think the drills are actually Ever Moment drills. I think that's who she gets her drills from. The packaging looks the same. So that's what I am basing that on. If somebody else knows different, by all means, correct me. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of pattern keepering here. So I don't miss on there. Marking off drills / stitches. So yeah, even though it's warmed up, I still complain about the cold. I don't warm up. My husband says I'm a reptile. That may be true. We went last spring. We have a big parade we go to. Well, we used to go to around here. Apple Blossom Parade. My son always marched in it, so you know, I had to go and see him. And it is a big deal in the area. Well, it was hot. It didn't seem like it was going to be that day, so none of us was really prepared for it to be, but it got warm. The sun came out and that was the end. And he was making fun of me because, I mean, we're all sitting there sweating and stuff because, you know, it's hot and you're just sitting at a parade, but my legs were still cold. Like you could feel my leg and it was still cold. And he was like, you are a reptile. And the little old ladies that were sitting behind us were laughing. Like, yeah, thanks a lot. I'm awkward today. I will apologize in advance. I'm kind of tired. I did not sleep well last night. But I was in the mood to diamond paint, so here we are. And I mentioned to you in last Saturday's video that Tink was on the agenda. She's been feeling neglected again. So it was time her turn to come out and play. So we will give her due time. Oh no, stay. Seriously, I'm like being very awkward today. Let's try this. I'm gonna switch from the heavy duty magnifiers to my normal glasses. Apologies. That might help a little. We shall see. Anyway, so yeah, been kind of tired today. Luckily, my son was on a 2-hour delay, so I slept in a bit. He comes in my room this morning. He's like, Mom, why aren't you up yet? Are you going to bring me to school? It's like, yes. Don't worry. He goes, oh, I was hoping you weren't. I'm like, yes, just because, just because. I'll keep you home. Like, you had a whole week off last week. You don't get to complain. This one is always like not trying to get out of school, but he has no complaints if he can get out of school. My other son always wanted to be at school because he enjoyed band and stuff so much. I was a nerd growing up. I will fully admit it. So I always felt like I was qualified to call my older son a nerd as well. Whenever he'd be like, well, I want to go to school though. I want to see so-and-so and go to band and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, you're a nerd just like your mother. It's okay. It's a proud moment. I am trying. There, that's not where I wanted it to go. I was trying to be fancy. I was watching Painting Sparkle yesterday give her how to diamond paint faster tips, and she was describing how you fill up your multi-placer and then go through in single place. I still can't do it. Still can't do it. I fail. I refuse to give up. One day I will figure it out. But anyway. So if you see me sitting here trying to be fancy, that's why. So what is going on in your world? How's work, life at home, whatever it is that you do with your day? Work has been work here. I always say that every week. Work is work, and it is. Has its good days, has its challenging days, just like anything. My manager got me a laptop because I apparently need one for this boot camp I'm going to do. I've mentioned it a couple times. So I was like, cool, a laptop. That'll be handy. Well, we have setups where we have 2 monitors. So I've had 2 monitors, and then apparently the way this laptop attaches, it gives you that third monitor. A third monitor is supposed to still work off of the same system you have. And I had it all hooked up. They didn't give me any directions, by the way. I am not Miss Technologically Savvy. So they didn't give me any directions on setting it up. So I was like, all right. She's like, oh, well, she gave me something. She goes, these aren't the updated directions, but they should be enough to, get you where you need to go. I'm like, okay. And I did it. I had it all hooked up. I think I had all 3 monitors working. I wasn't exactly thrilled with the setup, but I figured, all right, cool. It's a good start. You know, maybe when I restart my computer tomorrow, I can work on, you know, finagling some things, adjusting some things. Well, the next morning when I started my computer up, my 2 desktop monitors were no longer found. And still, it cannot find those 2 monitors. So I am on the laptop monitor and that's it. Which, I mean, I can at least get stuff done, but it's not very efficient. Especially if I'm training or something, I need more than 1 monitor because we're attached, connected to the, you know, the training environment, the classroom, sharing a PowerPoint, keeping an eye on chat, facilitating and demoing systems and stuff like that. And, you know, I always joke around with my participants. I'm like, I need a command center here, y'all. 2 screens isn't enough. So when I found out I was going to have 3, I was like, oh, cool, even better. Well, now I'm down to 1 because I can't get the other 2 to work. And the one I do have is kind of small because it's a laptop screen. So still waiting on that. I'm working with our tech people to try and figure out what in the heck is going on there because it was working. They're like, well, maybe it's a bad cable. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. I'm like, well, then why was it working? Like originally I had it working. No one can answer that question. But, you know, is what it is. So trying to prep for this boot camp. Potentially I am covering for another trainer later this week. Trying to kind of get out of that because I'm having all these technological issues. And yeah, you know. It's been fun. I'm excited about this boot camp though. I've been doing some of the prep work for it, learning fancy commands in Excel and stuff that apparently everybody knows how to do but me. I was bragging yesterday about it to my stepdaughter and my husband. I'm like, look what I figured out how to do. I'm like doing the fancy formulas in Excel, doing my math for me and all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, you didn't know you could do that? Like, no. I did. And I even said to my husband, I'm like, you do? You do. He goes, oh yeah, I know how to do all that. I'm like, then why can't you use a cell phone? I swear, every other day he is complaining about something that his cell phone isn't doing. And I always pick on him. I'm like, well, it's user error because none of us have these problems. I'm like, so you can't get your cell phone to work, but you know how to perform data analysis in Excel? Really? His excuses, well, the cell phones are just inefficient. I'm like, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Whatever. That's what we'll go with. It's like technology issues abound. My mom up in New York, her internet provider told her, our equipment is too old, so we're sending you new equipment. Well, as I mentioned in my previous WIP Chat, my mother's 90. She's not exactly technologically savvy. Thankfully, my brother-in-law is. And he and my sister live fairly close. So she's like, well, he's going to come over and help me hook up the new modem. I'm like, good, because somebody needs to. Well, he hooked it all up, all the equipment and stuff. Well, her router doesn't work. It's too old. So he had to get her a new router. Last I heard, something else wasn't working there. So I don't know what is going on with this woman's internet, But she was making me laugh the other day when I was on the phone with her. She goes, well, so if I hang up on you, because, you know, my cell phone, I'm like, Mom, your cell phone's, you can have Wi-Fi assist with your calling, but your cell phone shouldn't be affected if your internet's not working. I mean, searching for stuff and playing games on your phone might be affected, but a phone call shouldn't be affected. So if you hang up, Ma, that is something you did. She goes, oh, well, I was just letting you know. Okay. She's so cute. Such a cute little old lady. Don't worry, y'all. She knows she's a grumpy old lady. My dad was a grump. Oh, my Lord. It was so funny when my kids were born. The one day, I can't find it right side up drill. I'm trying to keep it in the screen for you all, but I'm not picking up right side up drills. There we go. When my kids were babies, you know, we'd go and visit, and they'd play with their poppy, and normally, you know, he was good-natured, but, you know, he'd get grumpy. He was an old Italian. What can I say? But he would always laugh, though, if one of the kids pointed it out. That was hilarious to him. And I remember my younger son, when he was like 3 or 4 years old, Poppy, you're grumpy. He sat there and laughed and laughed and laughed. That was just the best thing ever. I'm like, oh, he's allowed to say it, but I can't. I'm feeling a little discriminated against here, Poppy. I am basically just going in DMC order down the list on my pattern keeper here because Tink is quite confetti heavy. She is. And I do have specials for her. They're not really charted, and I have to pay attention to my containers because I do have them marked, like which drills I have specials for. Basically, when you indicate you want specials, she sends you some, and you decide if you want to use them in a particular area or not. I have been for the most part, except like on her, like her wings, the background, stuff like that. I've been blinging up like her hair and stuff. I mean, technically she's a fairy, I could, but I haven't been. So I also have a picture of the image next to me for reference, because so when I do hit one where there's a special, and by the way, this is it, in case you are unfamiliar with Tinkerbell, from Mandy Manzano. But that way I have it next to me, so if I hit a spot where I have a special available, I can determine where, in fact, it really is. I think in this section I am currently working on, I am safe to substitute anything, which I did a little bit down here, because this is just going to be background. And then right here is still like the bottom part of her wing. So yeah. If it's available, I will use it. I love adding bling. See, when I first started diamond painting, there weren't blingy drills. There wasn't AB drills. There wasn't, definitely not pixie dust, or anything of the like. I mean, all that stuff kind of came out after I moved on from diamond painting for a little while. I remember seeing the ads on Facebook showing people diamond painting with the AB type drills. And I was like, oh, where was this when I was diamond painting? I have a drill sitting here. Oh, well, that one's fine. Oh, goodness me. Okay, she's there, she's there. Did that, and did that. All right, cool. Sorry. Just checking. For a confetti heavy cross-stitch conversion painting, I do have a rather large section opened, but once I get going, I just like to just do it. I'd go all the way across if I wasn't always worried about putting my hands down in the glue and stuff. Nope, this one's not in there. Just finding my next color. So I need ideas. I am going to, what's the word? Crowdsource ideas. And I really, please comment down below. I don't know what to get my husband for Valentine's Day. I didn't think we were doing gifts, to be honest with you, because we're going on a cruise in November. I thought, you know, the fact that we're paying for this cruise was going to be like Christmas and Valentine's and birthday gifts for, you know, the foreseeable future. But he got me a massage. So he gets them all the time. I do not, but I love them. And I need them. I have a terrible neck. Terrible neck. Obviously, diamond painting doesn't help. Speaking of, I have a chiropractor appointment today. Come on, get in there. There we go. Love that pop. But yeah, he got me a massage. And it's on Valentine's Day. We're both going. So I'm like, oh, well, what do you want? And he's like, oh, I don't need anything. Just you. I'm like, that's sweet and all, but I don't believe you. For context, this is our second marriage for both of us. You know, we've got the whole blended family thing going on. We're both old. I'm going to be 50 this year. He is 50. Well, he's over 50. So, I mean, we're not like, you know, spry young newlyweds or anything. We've been married for, this year it'll be 7 years. Been together for over 10. And like I said, not our first marriage. So yeah, I don't know what to get him. I really don't. I should be better about these things, but I'm not, especially because I just had it in my head we weren't doing gifts. And I don't want to not get him something if he got me a massage. I mean, it was very sweet of him. He didn't have to do that. So yeah, I need some ideas, y'all. Right, the furnace turned off and I can already feel it getting chilly in here again. That's just no fun. I wear mucklucks on my feet and my feet are still cold. Do you all prefer winter or spring? The only thing I like about winter, well, back when I was a teacher, I loved just the potential for snow days. But considering that that doesn't really do much for me anymore, the one thing I do like about winter is that bugs go back to hell where they belong. So, you know, you got that going for you. But I don't like being cold. I know, who does? I act like I'm like unique, but I greatly dislike being cold. with a passion. So yeah, I tend to like spring more. Pattern keeper is not my friend right now. There we go. I tend to like spring more. But at the same time, not a bug fan. I don't think we're like on tap to get any cicadas or anything this year. That was a surprise to me, my first year here in Virginia. Oi, my first summer here. We moved in August, so like the following summer. The big talk of the town was the 13-year cicadas coming out. I think 13-year, something like that. I almost said 30-year, so maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But the 13-year cicadas and how much fun, quote, she said sarcastically, fun, that's going to be. And oh, look out, people. Remember when they were here the last time? And now I thought, oh, it's just, hyped up news crap, Well, I was taking my courses to get my teaching certification at the time. And I remember in class the one day saying it to somebody. I'm like, all right, is it really a big deal, y'all? And this one guy was like, yeah, they're everywhere and they're annoying and they're loud. And I'm like, oh, really? I mean, how bad can it be? That was famous last words because they were terrible. Where we were living at the time, they were very loud. You could hear them above your TV with all your windows closed. They were everywhere. And there are bugs that literally come out to mate and then die. So they don't have like the healthy habits of avoiding people. I missed one already. So they bounce off your head, they fly into you, they fly onto you, they come into the house with you. It was just, and I seriously get anxiety when it comes to insects. So it was a miserable period of time for me. Like I remember telling my ex, my husband at the time, I'm like, all right, the next time these suckers are due to come out, I'm not going to be here. We're going to go to New York or something for the summer because we don't have these evil bugs there. It hasn't been that bad in broods. They're broods, subsequent broods. That was the worst one I've ever seen. So that's good. But yeah, I was just like, no, we're not doing this. They weren't, and they're not small. The only cool thing is like when they first come out and they crawl up the trees and they like leave their little shells. That's before they start bouncing off your head. And they look kind of cool. But then they're flying everywhere and making their noise and just getting into everything. And yeah, it's causes a great deal of anxiety for me. But yeah, that's what I don't like about spring. The bugs come back. But I do like those first few nice days you get when it just feels like you can feel it in the air that, oh, winter is done. When I'm ready for winter to be done. I love that feeling. Now, when I'm not ready for winter to be done and I start seeing robins and all that pop out and we've barely had a winter to speak of, I get a little offended. It's like, wait a minute, it snowed like once. I mean, as much as I hate the snow and the ice and we don't get along, I do like to have a good snow from time to time. What is this one? You, how did I miss you? R3046. Okay. Oh, it's the one right beforehand. How did I miss that? Oh, goodness gracious me, y'all. Did you see what I just did? I like twitched. Luckily, I don't have too many drills in here. Last night, I was working on the black, so I had like a tray full, and I twitched, and my drills went flying everywhere. They're probably still like caught in my rolled up canvas here. I think I got most of them, but there's probably still a bunch stuck in my canvas. I don't know what I was doing there. Don't ask questions. It's safer that way. And you go right there. How did I miss you? For shame. All right, moving on. What do we got here? Yeah, this like seriously like 90 something colors, so I'm just kind of going down the line. Whoa, that's a big one. Well, buckle up, everybody. Ugh. So, what are your favorite things about winter? Especially those of you that do like winter. Please explain yourselves. Like, what kinds of activities do you enjoy doing? I'm not a skier or anything like that, so I don't have like winter geared activities that I can't wait to do every year. Like I said, snow and ice and I do not agree. I fall. I slip and fall in the snow. I used to deliver newspapers when I was a teenager, you know, back in the day when people did that and people weren't good at shoveling. I was always and forever falling, slipping on the ice, slipping down people's steps. It was not a fun time. And up in Western New York, you know, winter just lingers. I even, when I was in college, I had a friend who was from Colorado. Like Colorado Springs, like mountains. Oh, my putty's like getting sticky. Anyway, and we were out walking the one day, and he was like, "Why is it so much colder here than it is up in Colorado?" I'm like, "Your guess is as good as mine." I said, "This is Buffalo cold." Why? Ask why. Drink Bud Dry. Remember that commercial? No, just me? Oh, goodness. But yeah. I have 2 space heaters downstairs where my work desk is. And I have been utilizing them for sure. And a heated blanket, by the way, because it's just colder down in the basement. Even though it's a finished basement, I'm not like stuck in some cave or anything. Okay, something's not right here. There should be a space. Everything's all right. And I missed a whole chunk of stuff. Oh my Lord, y'all. Why are you distracting me? Oh, all of this is one down. Hold, please. We're gonna fix all of this. And I am missing like a whole bunch of these right here. Why I marked them off is beyond me because I didn't put them down. I mean, thankfully it's an easy fix, but lordy. And this is why people get anxiety about cross-stitch conversions. All right. Yeah, I'm like missing a whole like section right here. What was I doing? Oh, goodness me. Oops. Stay there. I was chit-chatting with y'all. That's what I was doing. OMG. All right. Up one. Up one. All right. I think I figured that out. Now, let me fix this real quick. First of all, mark off what I did place. Did you? See, y'all, definitely not perfect here. Most definitely. Did you all? And I did you. So we will do that. And select you because I missed a whole bunch of you. All right. Like way before. Not a whole bunch, but enough. All right. We got this. Maybe. Really? There we go. Oh, my word. No. My glue dot is going to punish me now. It's going to stick to me. Or my drills are going to stick to me. Don't try this at home, everyone. I'm not a professional. When I was teaching, I used to teach biomedical science. My students always would come to me with questions, medical questions, like I was a doctor or something. I'm like, guys, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV. I said, I didn't have a little bit of knowledge, but I cannot diagnose your parents. I'm sorry. They need to go to a doctor. I mean, I always thought it was cute that they trusted me like that, but I was like, no, please don't think I can fix you. All right, so we did those. Now we're going to go back to what I was working on before. Let's try this again. Haha, there we go. All righty. Think we got it now? We'll find out. What were we talking about? We were talking about winter activities. When I was in college, we didn't have a football team in my school. We had a hockey team. I love hockey. So we had an ice skating rink, obviously, and they had free skates all the time. I did not grow up, dear me, I did not grow up knowing how to ice skate. I could roller skate, but yeah, I didn't ice skate growing up. So when I first went to college, that was like something I did for the first time, was go ice skating. And, you know, you fall and whatnot. It takes a little while to get used to. I never could get into rollerblading, so it was very different for me. But yeah, I tried ice skating a few times. We'd go every now and again. And, you know, when I was little in the wintertime, we'd go out and play in the snow and build the snow forts and go sledding and, you know, all the things that you do. Build snowmen. But beyond that, no, I don't have any real, like, need to do it winter activities. So I always like to hear from people who do, like, what types of things do you enjoy? Because, I mean, some people love winter. I don't understand. But I know you all exist. Not used to using such a small multi-placer, but I really don't need that big of one here. This is really going to be the most multi-placing I'm going to be able to do. Even when placing the black, you really don't get I mean, like, you get some straight lines there and like along the borders, but beyond that, it's not a multi-place friendly canvas. So yeah, what kinds of activities do you all like to partake in the wintertime? A few years back, we have, Western New York has some ski resorts. We get lake effect snow. They're in the south towns have hilly areas, so yeah, there are some ski resorts. But again, I am not a winter weather lover, and so I don't know how to ski. I've never gone skiing. But a few years back, my mother-in-law paid for all of us to stay at a ski resort, like as a Christmas present. Like, we all went down there for the weekend, and the kids went tubing and stuff. A couple of the kids went skiing because, you know, they're adventuresome people. So yeah, I mean, I grew up with people. I think I got scared of it because when I was a little girl, this one little girl in my kindergarten class went skiing apparently one weekend, and she comes back to school all casted up. She broke her leg skiing. So yeah, never really wanted to try it after that because I was like, yep, that'd be me. Totally. My kids, though, when they were little, they'd go out and play in the snow and stuff and build snowmen with dad and whatnot. But yeah, they aren't big adventuresome winter weather people either. It's probably my fault. But they also didn't grow up where I grew up. You know, you went out and played in the snow because if you didn't, what are you going to do with your life? Because winter's like 6 months out of the year. If you were lucky enough to get snow days, that was pretty cool. They didn't tend to give those out very often when I grew up. They do now. My niece practically had the entire week of school off last week. I'm like, what? I didn't get any of these. No, I did not walk uphill both ways. I did walk. To junior high, I had to walk like a mile, but it was not uphill both ways. So we're still working on our Man in the High Castle binge. We're getting close to the end of the 3rd season, and then there's a 4th season. So we are almost done with that. I think we're going to watch Fallout when we're done with that, the 2nd season of Fallout. I enjoyed the 1st season of that. I have watched my husband play the game. I've never played the game. It seems to be a pretty good adaptation, I should say, of the game. I know a lot of shows and movies fall short when they try to make a story revolving around a video game, besides Resident Evil, of course. But no, Fallout seemed pretty good. I enjoyed that. So looking forward to binging on that. I don't know what we're going to watch after that, though. I think we have a few things saved up. But, so we shall see. I'm still open to any binge-worthy suggestions from you, my faithful followers. So please, in the comments, what are you binging on? What do you suggest? With that, I think we are going to end it here because I have been chit-chattering with you all for a while. So I still have a bunch of this color to put down, like this whole part over here. So I'm going to be here for a little bit, but we're going to call it a day. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I work on Tinkerbell. If unfinished projects make you feel a little less alone, you are always welcome here. Thanks for coming, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.